Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us for our asTech Industry Pulse webinar. Today, the topic is Driving What's Next, a conversation with Repairify's new leadership. I'm really excited to be here today with Srisu and Keith, and I'll let them introduce themselves in just a moment. Before we get started, my name is Kennedy Taylor. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing for asTech, driven by Repairify. And again, we're thrilled to welcome you guys. There is a Q&A functionality at the top of the screen. You'll see that. Feel free to submit any questions. We look forward to answering those at the end of our time together today. So without further ado, Srisu, would you mind kicking us off with an introduction?
Sure. Thank you, Kennedy. Good morning. My name is Srisu Subramaniam, and I recently joined as the CEO of Repairify, the parent company of asTech. I come from the automotive sector, but a different part of the automotive sector. I spent the last 8 years working at a company called OpenLane, which is an automotive remarketing company. OpenLane sells about 1.5 million cars on a mostly digital platform right now. I used to also run the physical auction business called ADESA, which may be familiar to some of you. We sold that business to Carvana in 2022. As part of that network, we had a number of collision shops within the ADESA network serving our customers. We had 75 locations in the ADESA network. We had a handful of collision shops that would service our customers as well. So even though our main business was not collision, we needed to repair cars to sell them for our customers, for our sellers. So I'm happy to be here at Repairify. I've only been here for about 6 weeks. I'm learning the business, learning our customers' needs, and look forward to having a more active conversations as I get on board.
Thank you, Srisu, and welcome. Keith?
Yeah, thank you, Kennedy. My name is Keith Crerar. I also joined Repairify, joined as the Chief Transformation Officer, joined about 12 weeks ago, so still fairly new to the business here. I have spent about 25 years in the automotive industry. The first 10 years of my career, I was managing a large dealer group in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. I'm a dual citizen of Canada and the US. So spent a long time in retail automotive, and then moved to Indianapolis, Indiana, where I worked for, at that time, ADESA, and then Car Global, and then OpenLane, one company for the last 15 years as an operating executive. My time there, I had 3 different areas that I was focused on. My first 5 years, I was head of sales for ADESA. Middle 5 years, we did a startup in the automotive auto auction space in a mobile application called TradeRev. And then my last 5 years, I was the head of customer experience and global shared services, managing our portfolio-wide functions from logistics to claims, arbitration, financial operations, and helped my last couple of years with OpenLane's digital transformation. So very happy to be here at Repairify. Have experience with Blue Driver and OneGuard Solution, 2 of our sister companies' businesses, and have been in some of the collision space, not this deeply, obviously, or a company like asTech, but managed some collision shops in my time managing a large dealer group in Toronto. We owned a few different collision centers. So happy to be here and looking forward to today's session.
Great. Thank you both so much. It's been a really fun time that we've gotten to get to know each other in the last 6 and 12 weeks. And I'm excited for the broader audience to learn more about you guys today and your vision for Repairify. So jumping right on in, Srisu, you were a customer before you joined the team. Can you share a little bit about how being a customer has shaped your approach as CEO?
Sure. I think one of the best ways to know a company before joining them is to actually go through a customer journey. In my case, in this case, obviously, we're talking about Repairify, but I was a customer of a few products. I had this opportunity with asTech specifically. We had an opportunity with Blue Driver and OneGuard. Some of those products are in the Repairify umbrella and may not be familiar with everyone on this call. But let me just back up. I mentioned ADESA. We had about 75 locations. Some of them had collision repair shops in them, serving our customers. And we got introduced to asTech as part of a remote diagnostics tool. So it was just a very cost-effective way and a reliable way for us to complete repairs and make sure that the sellers were comfortable that the repairs were actually got done, the scans were done correctly, and the cars were ready to go. Today, if you look at OpenLane, it sells most of the cars digitally. And in most cases, the buyers don't actually see the cars they're bidding on. So in those cases, the inspections that we do before the purchases are done are really critical to the business decision. So in the inspection process, we use this product called Blue Driver, which is a very basic scanning tool during most of our inspections process. So you would scan the tool using the OBD port, and the DTC codes, all of the critical information about the car actually goes into the condition report or the inspection report. So it's a very seamless product that we've been using for many years. It's all about giving confidence to the buyer that the car's complex systems didn't have any issues, or if they did, what it would cost for them to fix the issues. That was also part of the equation. So I consider my experience as a customer to be a very important part of knowing a company. One of the main reasons for me, coming to Repairify and asTech, the key questions are how do we develop products, how we interact with the customers, how we learn about changes in the industry, how we implement it out in the field, what is the follow-up like? All those are really critical to know as a customer, and I've been on the other side of that. So it's been a really good experience from that standpoint. I will say this, having been here for 6 weeks, and both as a customer and as well as being in an internal role, we're not perfect, but we have the core aspects of being a company that really understands the space we're in, and that's important.
That's great. And the acknowledgement of where we always have opportunity to improve, and there's nothing better that we can take from your personal experience and drive that forward. So thank you for sharing that. So Keith, you've jumped in and been here a little bit longer as our Chief Transformation Officer. Can you talk to us about what that means for Repairify and our customers specifically, the benefits that they'll experience from this?
Yeah, thanks, Kennedy. So I guess I would start out by saying two things. It's when we talk about the transformation office here at Repairify, the thing that we've talked a lot about early on is from the through the lens of the customer, being very good listeners. So listening to our customers and getting their feedback and then actioning that feedback as we can. And then number two, it's about ruthless prioritization. So it's thinking through what our customers have told us, quantifying that feedback into actionable insights that can drive our product roadmap. The goal of a transformation office is really made up of three components. Number one, and most importantly, enhancing the customer experience. As I said, we committed to listening to our customers through these new voice of the customer programs that we've just stood up, and we'll work to improve overall customer satisfaction, our loyalty, and retaining our customers. And the way we do that is through providing good service and good products and delivering on our service promise overall. Number two, it's driving business growth. So focusing on initiatives that drive business growth for our customers from a revenue perspective and from a profitability perspective. We want to help our customers capture all the opportunity that they have in the repair process by making things faster and easier. Number two, speaking of faster and easier, is improve operational efficiency. So we aim to streamline customer processes. We want to reduce cycle times and enhance the overall quality of service. So if you think about our service delivery components, having our remote technicians being able to handle the work quickly and efficiently, whether it's a customer that's calling into us for support in some way or another, low wait times, having the information readily available to resolve their questions so they don't have to call back a second time. So it's things that are focused around those three areas.
That's really helpful information, and I definitely think, we're going to see great benefit from that, and our customers will as well, which is most important. So I want to remind everybody, feel free to submit any questions you have for Keith and Srisu using the Q&A functionality. But the next topic that I want to dive into is, really the vision and customer focus that we have. So Keith, this question is for you. Can you tell us a little bit more about how Repairify is ensuring that we stay deeply connected to the evolving needs of our shops?
Yeah, so I think it starts with having the two of us join recently gives us a chance to re-engage with our customers very differently and with clear eyes. We understand the history. We weren't here to experience it. So we get to have this outsider's view of perspective on what our customers are really telling us and how we're going to approach solving some of the complex problems that our customers are experiencing now. My first 4 or 6 weeks, I spent a lot of time out in the field in some of our delivery centers. I spent time in our shops with our technicians, actually using our scan tools, using our calibration equipment, working with our remote technicians, myself, to understand how the workflow happened, just walking through the different collision centers to really see how the workflow happens from the estimator's desk to the shop manager's desk to our teams. And then it's really talking to some of our biggest customers that we have today and some customers that have left us. I'm fortunate to have a few early relationships with customers in larger MSOs and what I call this sort of mid-majors, and really talking to them and understanding what it is about asTech that they like today. What are our key differentiators? What do we do really well? And then where have we made some missteps in the past, or what in our product suite does not unlock the value that they need? Where is it not easy to use? Where is it not fast to use? Where might there be some confusion? Where can we remove some of the constraints some of the technicians are feeling today as they use our services?
You were out in the field early, and if you guys follow us on our social media channels, you would have seen some photos of Keith in shops with the all-in-one and Gen 2 devices in his hands, hooking it up and going through that entire workflow process to really understand what the shops experience on a day-to-day basis. So um, moving over to you, Srisu, you were recently quoted in an article saying that, what does it mean to be the most relied upon vendor? And you had said you wanted us to be in a position to become the most relied upon vendor. So what does that look like in practice from your perspective, if you could share that with us?
Sure. I guess I view this in a few ways. If I'm a customer, if I put my customer shoes or a customer hat on, I would ask myself a few questions of asTech and Repairify. Does the company offer solutions that make my life easier? And do they add value to my workflow? We also have to be cognizant of the fact that our workflow, the work that we do, is not the main work for our customers.
Mm.
It's an important part of the piece of the puzzle. It's a necessary piece of the puzzle, but that's not the entire piece. So whatever we do needs to be easy for them to use, seamless, and we provide an important service, but it needs to be very frictionless for them. So I think that's one question that I'd be asking if I'm a customer. Another question I'd be asking is, does the company really understand my current needs? And can they anticipate how the industry is changing, customer profiles are changing, technology is changing? Can they anticipate my future needs and be a partner in this? We have been a lead voice in the space for a long time, whether it comes to, remote scanning capability, getting the reliable tools up and running and maintaining the connectivity in calibrations with ADAS thing. So we've been an innovator in this space for a long time. We have to continue that ethos and the genes that we have in that. I think that's one question that I'd be asking if I'm a customer. The other one is, does the company have a focus on service and make the daily problem solving very easy for me and my employees? Again, it comes back to frictionless. So when I need the service, can you reliably perform that on a cost-effective basis, or do I have to worry about whether the service is going to, work or not? I would say when you go to add up all these, the answers to this, obviously we have been successful in this, and we provided the service for a long time. But to be honest, we don't excel in these areas consistently. I think we're pretty good, but we're not excellent at it. In fact, we had a few technology-related issues last week, for instance. We had some service degradation issues. We take this very, very seriously, and we're deep diving into the root causes of this. Essentially, what it meant was longer wait times for our customers, but we don't accept that. That's not something that we would just say, oh, it's just a few more minutes for them people to wait. We don't accept that. We'll go back, figure out what went wrong, and customers expect a very frictionless process with us, and we need to provide that reliably and consistently. So our goal is clear. It's to make it easy for our customers to do business with us, and more importantly, get to a point where they derive value from our partnership and not just a transactional side of the business.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that, nobody likes business disruption, and we absolutely take it very seriously and are working every day to make it easy to do business with us. So, Keith, I know you've spent some time out in the field. You mentioned that at the top, and you're really engaging with our customers. Can you share some of the challenges that have come up in your conversations with our clients and how those are shaping the way that we support them moving forward?
Yeah, so thanks, Kennedy. I want to level set with everybody on how we're actually getting that feedback from customers and how we're being better listeners. So we've quickly been able to stand up 4 different voice of the customer programs that will gather feedback at different interactions in the customer journey with all of our customers. So we just launched our first NPS survey. We launched it last week, asking our customers how they feel about asTech and getting their direct feedback. And we've had a lot of responses really quickly. So we'll take that information, quantify it. We've already dished out a lot of the action items to the different leaders around the business to contact these customers and let them know that we've received their feedback and the things that we're doing to address it if it was a detractor, and then thanking them for the promoter score. So that's number one. Number two is CSAT.
Keith,
Yeah.
just NPS, for those who don't know NPS, it's Net Promoter Score. It's one way of measuring customer loyalty, customer satisfaction.
Thank you. Yep.
Right.
And then CSAT is on the phone. So we have this capability. We've got it turned on in our delivery centers and our contact centers. So when customers have outbound calls, they call into us for help. It's that 1 question survey at the end to understand the customer satisfaction for the person that they just dealt with. And the question is, would they hire them in a customer service role, or was it a positive interaction? That's number two. Number three is more around the transactional process. So when a work order is closed, the user, the technician, or whoever is using our devices has a question. How would you rate us on a star rating system, 1 through 5? And then based on your responses, there's a couple other questions that you can answer. That's more about the actual journey using our scan tools. And then the last one is more qualitative, talking to the leaders of the businesses that we are partnered with and interviewing them regularly to understand how they see asTech, what we're doing well, and where we need to improve. If I was to talk about themes from what we've heard early on, look, there are a segment of customers that have been our customers for a long time, and they're very appreciative of our Gen 2 device, for example, and how it works, speed to execution. It's very good for them, and that's the feedback that we're getting. There are other customers that are using some of our tools where they have a different need. They want some simplicity. They want less choices, less optionality. They want anyone to be able to use a scan tool to perform a scan or any diagnostic. So we're trying to take all those things into account and create the best solutions we can. And lastly, it's just around calibrations. This is obviously a growing segment. It's an important part of the business as cars are changing and developing. Our customers have said the same thing to us over and over. Help us identify the calibrations that are needed and help us make sure that they get completed. We don't want to leave those opportunities on the table for a number of different reasons. Our collision centers want to be able to deliver a good quality service to their customers, and we can help them do that.
I've been working closely with you on the Voice of the Customer program, and we're really excited internally to be able to action that and better support our customers moving forward. So, Srisu, I know you've also been engaging with customers regularly. What are some of the things that you've heard?
Well, one of the challenges we have, I think I've heard consistently, is our relationship with our customers is given the context of the Geico announcement from a year ago. And I'm trying to understand the environment that this has created in terms of who we serve as our customers and our relationship with them. I don't claim to have all the answers. In fact, I have very little answers at this point, but I am willing to listen, learn, and adapt to what our customers need. I'm very practical about, kind of where we are and how to go about listening to our customers and rebuilding trust with them. But we have a lot of work to do in this respect because we provide a service. We certainly don't take that for granted. We value our customer relationships, but there's a lot of work that needs to get done with our customers in kind of building that trust again. But that's what I'm committed to doing. So I know that's going to be a process, but I'm looking forward to engaging folks that feel like the same level of I think relationship doesn't exist with asTech.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us. So moving on into transformation and accessibility, Keith, you mentioned on transformation initiative at the beginning of our conversation. Can you elaborate on some of the initiatives that we're working on and how you prioritize which innovation to focus on to best impact our customers?
Yeah, so I think it all starts with the voice of the customer. That's our highest priority right now. It's where we've my first priority as we come in and we started to go through the initiatives and the work that was already in flight at asTech, and then what can we build on? But it all revolves around the voice of the customer programs and listening and gathering feedback and developing a product roadmap that makes sense. Number two, ADOS Think. ADOS Think and making calibrations easy to execute with more information for shop managers and technicians. As I said earlier, what needs to be done and was it completed? More integrated workflows between ADOS Think and the actual execution of the work that needs to be done, and then follow on reporting for shop managers or whoever wants to see what was available and what was completed so that they can drive more efficiencies internally. And then I would say there's prioritized bucket of things around invoicing, payments, reimbursement. How can we support estimators in their shops? Several customers have told me that estimators can use upwards of 10 different pieces of software depending on what customers they serve in the collision center. So I'm thinking about all of these things. We're trying to prioritize different components and different features in our workflow that help make invoicing, payments, and reimbursement simple, where that can be accomplished. And then lastly, we talk a lot about simplification, talk about simplifying our processes and how our products work with shops. But we also need to be very engaged and thoughtful around industry partnerships and other providers our collision industry centers work with. So thinking a lot about there are things that we want to accomplish on behalf of our customers, but they have integrations that we need to be thoughtful about and partnerships. So it's a collaborative approach across the industry with who our customers do business with today, as well as asTech.
The automotive industry definitely has its challenges in technology and integrations and making it easy for the customer and the consumer on both sides to transact. So love that we have a focus on that and making it easier for our shop. So Srisu, the next question is for you. And there's a lot that we can do to help shops navigate the evolving collision repair landscape. How are we solving things on a day-to-day basis for operational challenges with our customers?
Yeah, if you look at the journey of our typical customer, customers use our services when they need access to us, and it's not the same complexity on every scan or every calibration need. In many cases, they're using us only when on a select number of scans and need calibration needs. So sometimes it's when all else fails and they need to get the work completed using really reliable tools, and that's where we come in. Our focus now is to really make it as easy as possible to access the right tools. We have the intelligence. I think Keith covered a little bit about calibrations. We have the intelligence to identify the right repairs to be done, and we have the integrations to make sure that it's easier for our customers to complete those repairs and get paid and get reimbursed for them. I think our biggest evolution, if you think about what we are talking about, is to obsess about everything from a customer's lens. If there's one takeaway, I guess, from this, it would be you heard about voice of the customer from Keith. So I want to add more to that than what he's covered already. I think the biggest step change that we are trying to affect internally is think about everything from a customer's lens and obsess over it. So if you can make life simpler for customers, then, two things that I addressed, right? One is, can we make it easier for you? And then can we build trust with our customers that we're solving their problems? I think it goes a long way to that.
And the feedback, the surveys that Keith has mentioned and the ways that we're looking to gather our customer feedback, it's really important to us. So please, if you receive a survey from us, or you have the opportunity to share feedback with us, please submit your feedback. We take it very seriously and are looking at every opportunity to drive, the business forward in a different way. So speaking of that, looking forward, looking ahead rather, where do you see Repairify and the repair industry heading in the next 12 months, Risu?
Okay, I'm 6 weeks in, so I'm probably the least qualified of everybody in the audience to actually comment on it. But let me at least regurgitate what I've learned in the 6 weeks. So if I back up and look at the repair industry first, I think there are a few factors that come into play. The collision frequency has been trending down, which is not good news for collision shops in general. We see that in the CCC data. I guess there are a lot of factors that drive that. There's more ADAS technology on the road today. There's the total loss rates are up based on repair cost versus what they can recover from the salvage standpoint. miles driven, insurance costs. I can go on and on, but I won't go into that. But the effect of all that is collision frequency has trended down. But that has put a lot of pressure on repair shops to become more efficient, hopefully more effective as well. And some have even, gone into a restructuring phase focused on cost control programs, reduce their cost structure. So that's a headwind aspect of it. And I think Keith mentioned something about there are repairs that need to get done. Sometimes we miss them. I think we have as a company, Repairify and asTech have tools to make sure that we identify those so that you maximize all those opportunities as well. So that's one part of it. I think technology continues to evolve, and you can see the proliferation of ADAS technologies in newer cars. It's just becoming much more pervasive, right? I think 5 years back or 10 years back, the level of sophistication of these ADAS systems were not that great. And then the calibration aspect of it, quite frankly, people didn't realize what they needed to do post repair. Now we have a lot more information around that. OEMs have helped us along with that journey. So more and more repairs need extensive calibrations after repairs are completed. So I think we all know that, and we've got tools now to kind of identify and help navigate through that. And we're making those tools better. And then add to that the pressure of trying to keep the repair costs down from a reimbursement standpoint. There's a lot of pressures that our customers face in this environment. Our solution set was built on providing low cost, highly reliable access to the right tools at the right times for our customers. That is what we excel at. And I think we'll continue to focus and drive that focus with our customers.
Keith, from your perspective, what excites you the most about the future regarding technologies and services?
Yeah, so I think we've said this a few times, but I'll restate it a little bit differently. ADAS Think is an impactful technology that identifies more than what meets the eye. And Srisu said this, but really building out these capabilities, understanding the depth and the breadth of them, how can they integrate better into the current customer workflow or systems that our customers are using today? How do they execute more calibrations? How do we make sure that our customers are capturing everything that they need, gathering all the information that they need for their customers and reimbursement and everything, all the other work that they do? And then the other thing I would say is better equipping ourselves and our customers with new and advanced technologies that are coming from manufacturers. How do we get ahead? How do we have a research team and a development team that understands what's happening this year, what's happening next year, so that we can be proactive in our solutions, so that when our customers find themselves with a customer who has a newer vehicle with equipment that we might not have worked on before, we need to be able to provide them with the answers in that moment. And that means doing a lot of research and having really good, strong relationships with the OEMs. So we're focused on that.
And Srisu, what about you? What are you excited about what's coming?
Well, maybe a sneak peek into what's coming the next few months. We have a very good, we call it Gen 2, I guess, the remote capability, a tool that helps with remote capabilities. We're bringing out the next version of that. Not surprisingly, it's called Gen 3. It improves coverage even beyond the Gen 2. We're working to pair that with technology that offers high-speed connectivity and high level of reliability of the network. So that's something that's coming down the horizon. We don't talk much about Repairify's other assets. We always talk about asTech, rightfully so, because that's the audience we're talking about here. But we have tools outside of the asTech business that I think are complementary in some ways. We're really excited about a product called Repair 360. And it's a workflow tool that can help our customers, become more efficient and effective, especially in the context of calibration work. So when we couple that with ADAS Think, I think it presents a lot of interesting opportunities that we will bring to the market. We're also looking to leverage, we have what are called repairer tools. So technicians that use our tools on a daily basis. We have literally tens of thousands of people using Mobile Tech RX and Recon Pro. As we look to integrate more of these tools, we have an active audience that engages with us every day that could drive significant value to our collision shop customers as well. So if I simplify all that into one thing, right, our focus is, can we bring all these assets together and simplify the the experience for our customers and create enough flexibility to support other customer needs within their operations as well. So I guess it's not very revealing, but knowing that SEMA is only, 3 months away, I don't want to get too much away at this point. So stay tuned, and hopefully that's enough of a teaser, and hopefully we'll get to meet many of you at SEMA.
Absolutely. Well, we will be there, and we're excited to spend some time with our customers. So we do have a question that came in. And again, reminder for everybody, if you do have questions for Keith and Srisu, now is the time to get those submitted. But Doug Kaufman, thank you for your question. I'll let either one of you take this, but with regard to industry partnerships, are there opportunities in the near future for standard undercar automotive repair shops that do ADAS calibrations without the involvement of collision repair facilities?
I don't know. This is unfortunately the answer that I have, but I don't want to give you an answer. I mean, we can certainly get back to you. I don't know, Keith, if you have thoughts on it.
No, not, I don't.
It's a good question.
It is a
There's
good
lots
question.
of, yeah, stumped us right off the bat. There's a lot of over-the-air technology updates, I think, that we're seeing in this space. What that looks like, though, from a collision perspective, I think there's a lot to be discussed and determined there. So great question, Doug, and that's part of our research and development that we'll dive right into.
Are we going to give prizes to people who stump us?
We should.
Okay, Doug, you're going to get something in the mail, I guess.
All right. Well, that was the only question that came in. So we'll go ahead and say thank you to everybody for joining and for taking the time to, spend with us this morning and listen to the direction that Repairify is going. And we look forward to being great partners in the future with all of you. And if you have any feedback, please let us know. You will be receiving a survey today for attending, and we look forward to reviewing those answers. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks,
Thank you all.
everyone.
Thank you.